My heartbeat was a rhythmic drum echoing in my ears, and my stomach was twisted into tight knots, my fingers slightly trembling as I pulled my car into the deserted parking lot of the Hackmore Hospital. The biting cold of the night was a stark contrast to the hot wave of hesitation washing over me. I was a surgeon, about to participate in a life-saving operation, a liver transplant, but something about this night felt different. It felt wrong. The hospital, a towering Gothic structure, was shrouded in an eerie darkness, the flickering street lamp its sole companion. I got out of the car and hurried, the chilling wind cutting through my coat. As I reached the main entrance, the automatic doors seemed to open, reluctantly, as though warning of an unseen threat. Moving towards the operation theater, the usually bustling corridors were deathly silent, save for the intermittent creaks and groans of the aging building. The sound of my footsteps was a haunting echo, bouncing off the sterile white walls. Upon entering the OT, the scene was as normal as it could be. Surgical tools laid out elegantly, prepped for the delicate work ahead. The rhythmic beeping of monitors was calming in contrast to the eerie silence outside. Our patient, a man in his late 40s, lay unconscious on the table, the anesthetic doing its work. Joan, my surgical nurse, handed me the scalpel. The cold glint of the blade reflected my masked face, distorted with a hint of worry. The operation started smoothly enough. The incision, the careful maneuvering of the organs, everything was going as per usual. Until the power went out. The hospital plunged into complete darkness. A chill ran down my spine. I clutched the scalpel, fearing for my patient. But just as panic started to kick in, the backup generator sputtered to life, bathing us in a low, pale light. Relieved, I refocused, my hands moving with a rekindled urgency. But then I saw it. Twisting, writhing, where the man's liver should have been, was a deep black mass, its surface a morbid luminescent as if laughing at our incapability. I was frozen in terror, my heart pounding in my ears as the mass began to pulse. Each heartbeat seemed to feed it, growing larger and darker. Suddenly, it surged forward. The force knocked me backward, the scalpel slipping from my hand. I hit the floor, hard, gritting my teeth against the pain. I lifted my eyes, a gasp caught in my throat. The black mass had taken over the man's body, making grotesque bulges, transforming the patient into a living nightmare. A cacophony of monitors screeching filled the room, the machines unable to comprehend the anomaly. But the black mass merely pulsated, growing and contorting. I felt its gaze on me. It was sentient. It was hungry. I screamed, a raw cry ripping from my throat, bouncing off the cold, tiled walls. Joan was beside me then, but I barely noticed. My eyes were on the grotesque creature on the operating table. We had to evacuate. I had to get her out. We had to leave. Right. And then, the darkness swallowed us whole, the generator giving up its fight. I could hear the sickening thrum of the creature in the pitch black. We were trapped. There was only darkness, fear, and the harrowing realization that we were not alone. I had commenced the night as a surgeon, confident and prepared, but now, trapped in a Gothic nightmare with an abomination that we had accidentally brought to life. I knew surgery couldn't save us this time. What was this horror lurking under human skin? The surgery had gone terribly wrong, and now we might pay for it with our lives. Our only path forward was fear, our screams the only testament to the unseen terror of the night.